Colt Emerson has officially arrived in Seattle. He's also arriving on this show today, right here on the top step. We've got him, we've got your questions. We speak Australian. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Top Step. I'm Rowland-Smith. This is your Mariners weekly show. We've got a good one for you today. Young Colt Emerson has finally arrived, much anticipated. I want to look at that and compare some of that to some of the other big names, some of these superstars with the Seattle Mariners, what the expectations were for them and how it panned out. It wasn't always the big hype like it is these days. So we're going to get into that. Colt is going to join me. I can't wait. We're going to break down his first hit ever, that big 3-run home run. We're going to go pitch by pitch with young Colt. If you haven't already, go to @thetopstep.tv. Join the Mariners community over at social media or click subscribe on YouTube. Wherever you're watching, welcome if this is your first ever time to your new Mariners weekly show. All right, let's get into Eyes on the M's, presented by King LASIK. If you're ready for freedom from glasses and contacts, do what I did. Go to King LASIK. The procedure was quick. I was in and out under 15 minutes. And now Dr. King specializes in RLE. Start with a free Zoom consult at kinglasik.com. Okay, so young Colt Emerson. Look, he signed the extension before he ever spent a day in the major leagues, which is... it's becoming a little bit more apparent. Connor Griffin did the same thing. We've already broken that down in a past episode. I did a deep dive in what that contract really means about Colt and what to expect in the next pretty much close to a decade. Some of the expectations on him, go check it out. We do a really good deep dive into that. But for Colt Emerson, right out the gates, he comes in and replaces Brendan Donovan, right? And usually in a situation like this, it's kind of pre-planned where you say, okay, this is kind of the date when Colt's coming up. But he had to hurry up and get up here, right? It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon and the game was at 4 o'clock. It was a Sunday night baseball game, 4 o'clock. He had to drive himself up and make his debut. And then the next night, he hits the home run. We're going to dive into all of that. But I think for Colt Emerson, you've got to keep a couple things in perspective here. The young man is just turned 20 years old. He's barely out of his teenage years. So from a maturity standpoint, he is a mature dude, by the way. I'll share a story with you in a little bit. But from a maturity standpoint, do you remember when you were 20 years old? I was in my third year of minor league baseball, clueless. When I look back, I think I was in Inland Empire High A or something like that, just trying to make my way. There's no way I could have fathomed being on a major league schedule every single day. Now, I know it's a little bit different for him. It's been kind of sped up, first round pick and the extension and everything else. But I think for him, one thing you got to keep in mind, there is going to be some adjustment at some point. And with this team where they're at right now, with some of the injuries and some of the bumpier starts, with the team after winning the AL West last year, you're going to have to be patient with him because there's going to come a time. I know he hit that 3-run bomb. And he might go off. I don't know. He may absolutely go off. But playing third base under Perry Hill, you're going to have a situation just like Cole Young talked about, where he's going to have a completely different workload in the afternoon with the analytics, where to play, how to position himself at this level. It's completely different to playing in AA and AAA. I know it's the same. You feel like the game's the same speed. It really isn't because there's places to be and everything else. Then you've got the hitters meetings too. So you've got all these new these new tendencies and everything. You're going through at-bat to at-bat, what matchup, being a left-handed hitter, who you're going to be looking at, down the pipe in that third, fourth at-bat. So there's all these things that you have to factor in right now. Again, I hope he's a superstar. I love the dude, man. He is so fun to talk to and everything else. Don't get me wrong. And you know what? The expectations are absolutely through the roof. But I do want to pull up some past Mariners debuts. Okay, I'll start with Cal Raleigh, right? Now, I've got it up here on my board. Cal Raleigh came in. He was replacing Tom Murphy and Luis Torrens were kind of splitting the time back there. It wasn't that anticipated. All the hardcore Mariner fans were excited to see Cal Raleigh. But, man, it's hard to be a young catcher. And it wasn't this highly anticipated debut like it was with Connor Griffin, like Colt Emerson and some of these other guys. And I'm getting to one that might want to pull your hair out in just a minute here. But for Cal kind of eased in. He knew the pitching staff, and then a couple of years later, he hit 60 home runs, and the rest is history. Now he signed that big extension, and he's really the face of the Seattle Mariners. Then you look at Logan Gilbert. Now, Logan Gilbert made that debut the same day as Jared Kelenic. Do you remember? Jared Kelenic, it was so hyped, him coming to the major leagues. Crazy hype. And by the way, he did hit a home run his second at bat. Now, nothing against Jared Kelenic. I hope he has a fantastic career. But what about Logan Gilbert, man? He looked polished. He was still trying to find his way. He was a four-seam, big breaking ball kind of guy. Now he's the Mariners He was Mariners opening day starting pitcher. 2 years in a row. Think about that. It wasn't this anticipation like a Paul Skeens. And by the way, he had Cy Young votes and all the rest of it, the MLB All-Star, okay? So you've got Logan Gilbert, who was just kind of under the radar. Then you got George Kirby. Man, George looked awesome in his debut. 6 innings, 4 punch-outs. Looked so polished in that debut. And then, lo and behold, he's an MLB All-Star. And in my opinion, I know he had a rough one last homestand, but I'm telling you right now, he is going to have a bunch of Cy Young votes. All right, now I can go back into the yearbook and share some with me if you remember Ken Griffey or wherever. Have at it. The other one I want to bring up, Julio Rodriguez. He was 21 years old, had a massive spring training, made the team. He went 0 for 4 that first night. He hit a double that second night. And I'm telling you, man, watching him play, making that team out of spring. And by the way, he forced his way onto that team. He was just, what a year he had, man. I mean, you couldn't have written it up any better. He obviously signed the extension later, but he ended up becoming the Rookie of the Year. And the biggest highlight, we put him on the national stage for the charisma and everything else, was the 2022 Home Run Derby. So we've had some epic debuts, right? One, I will say, look, Jared Kelenic, that was a rough one. I get it. But we've had some really, really fun debuts where they've come up kind of under the radar, and then they've become absolute, I'm not going to say iconic just yet, but big time, big parts of this roster. I can throw Brian Wu in there. I can throw Bryce Miller in there as well. But for Colt Emerson, man, highly anticipated. We shall see. I just want you to be a little bit patient. Let me know your thoughts. What are you expecting from young Colt Emerson? I know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting him to rock up on this show. He joins me next. Keep it right here on the Top Step.
See life better with perfect, clear, natural vision from King LASIK.
Being a former professional athlete, I still love staying active. From paddleboarding, snowboarding, even playing with the kids, everything was such a hassle dealing with glasses and contacts. I'm so grateful to Dr. King and King LASIK. It's amazing how much better I see life.
I'm Dr. Joseph King. Let's free your eyes from the hassle of glasses and dirty contacts.
Schedule your free consult at kinglasik.com. King LASIK. See life better.
You want to get to where you're going in safety, comfort, and style. The perfect ride, the perfect wheels, the way the road makes you feel. Hazelwood's a perfect drive. Hazelwood has it.
When a storm wreaks havoc on your home's electrical with the devastation of Jormungandr, summon the protective might of Hunt Services. Our legendary 5-point inspection with whole home surge protection will keep your home powered like a Hammer Mjolnir. Now only $349. Or let us inspect your outdated panel for safety hazards and get $500 off your new installation if needed. Get on the horn and call Hunt for your electrical inspection, whole home surge protection, or panel replacement today.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. What's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price. Save up to $4,500 during Olympic's Summer to Remember rebate event. olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Welcome back to the Top Step. I'm about to get to Colt Emerson in just a moment. Before I do, remember, Big Dumper Beer is back. A collaboration between Scuttlebutt Brewing and Cal Rawley himself. Available at Scuttlebutt locations and retailers near you. Add this new can to your collection. All right, let's get to it. Young Colt Emerson joins me right here. Let's get into it. All right, welcome to the top step, and welcome to the Seattle Mariners too. The newest Mariner, Colt Emerson. Colt, how you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
It's good to finally talk to you. Now, we didn't talk about this before you came on, but I did hit you up right when you signed your extension. And I've got to say, man, I was impressed. I've said this publicly, I've said it on the radio, I've said it on TV. Super impressed because you just signed this extension. It's a huge deal at your age too, right? Mm-hmm. And I hit you up, said, hey man, you want to come on the top step and talk about it? And you basically said, politely, you said, no, I want to wait till I get to the big leagues and basically do something first.
Yes.
Dude, I got to say, man, like I said, I've said this publicly and I didn't exaggerate when I said it, but ton of respect, man, for a kid your age. Because 9 times out of 10, a 19, 20-year-old gets that kind of deal and, you know, you literally set up for close to a decade. It's different, right? So where does that come from?
It just really comes from my hometown, my family, the way I was raised. My dream was to be a big league player and go out there and win and be on the field and play good. You know what I mean? So like, I'm grateful for the extension, but like that's not the end all be all. Yeah. You know what I mean? The end all be all is winning the World Series. Having a long career, a long healthy career, being the best teammate, being the best person I can be, and really grow and develop. And with that, it just comes with like being humble and just this game humbles you. So you can't get too big for your britches, especially me as a 20-year-old. Like I got what I got, but there's still. You still got to go out there and do it.
It's changed so much, man, because now there's guys who are your age. I mean, when I was 20, I was kicking around A-ball, right? It took until I was 24 to make it to the big leagues. Everyone's like, "Hey, you're so young." When I got there, it took me 6.5 years coming out of high school. But you're looking at, Connor Griffin comes up, Travis Bazzani comes up, kid I've known since he was 12 years old. But when you watch players like that, do you look at that and say, okay, now is my time, and you have this attitude, and just bounce off what you said, whereas like, I'm going to come here and this is going to be not automatic, but playing at this level, I belong at this level, or is there still that element of the unknown of what's going to happen the next couple of years, even with the extension?
Yeah, I mean everything's unknown until it happens, but like you got to believe. That's first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your guys. You got to believe that you belong here. Because if you don't believe, then you're not gonna live up to your expectations or live up to how you want things to go in the future. And so, you just got to believe.
Is there that feeling when, just again with the extension coming up, do you ever feel that pressure, like, oh, now I got to live up to something?
I mean, they gave me the extension because of who I am and what I've done in the minor leagues and what they think I'll do. So honestly, that tells me what I was doing in the minor leagues is what I need to do here. Right. So that means not changing anything. Obviously keep developing and keep changing it in the right direction and in a good way. But at the core, what I put into the game and how I go about my business is the right way. And from that aspect, nothing's going to change. Right.
You talked about the way you were raised, and I got to meet Jamie and Stacey, your parents, your brother and your sister. I sat there in the stands with them during the game. How was the household growing up, man, with you? And at what point were you kind of that? Because this new generation now, man, they with perfect game and everyone getting ranked and everyone kind of getting put on a pedestal is way different than when I was coming up, especially in Australia. But how was the upbringing for Colt Emerson? Talk us through in the house. Like, what's your parents? What's their parenting style?
Oh, my dad keep us humble all the time. I mean, we came from a small town, so like, there wasn't that big city feeling of like getting too big. Like I said, too big for your britches. But like, I had an older brother too. Who kept me humble as well. He was a senior when I was a freshman in high school, so
he played too, right?
Yeah, he played baseball. We played football together, so there was that aspect, and it was just a lot of, we're gonna work, you're gonna work, and if you really want this, like, you got to hold up your end of the deal. My parents always said, like, hey, we're gonna give you every resource, and we're gonna sacrifice, and we're gonna, if you want to be a Major League Baseball player, we're gonna sacrifice, and we're gonna hold up our end of the deal, and your job is to hold up your end of the deal of You got to train hard. You got to stay out of trouble. You got to do the right things and just be a good person. And that really kept me. That was really the motivation of just like holding up that side of the deal because they were too.
This segment of The Top Step is brought to you by Olympic Hot Tub, a daily soak in a saltwater hot spring spa, a swim in an endless pool swim spa, or a therapeutic session in a Tylo sauna. Olympic Hot Tub can help you feel, live, and be better. Start today at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. All right, your debut, day after your debut. You make your debut on a Sunday, Monday rolls out, your parents come to town, you're Hitler still at this point.
Yep.
And you come, so we're going to go, we do this with everyone who joins the show, all your teammates have done this. We're going to go by pitch. Now this is your first major league hit, okay? Now we're facing Trevor Richards right here, plus changeup. And by the way, you saw a boatload of changeups against Giolito the day before.
Yes.
What is that? Is that just is that their little mini scouting report or what?
I think that's the mini scouting report. You know, I've tended to chase the down changeup pretty much my whole minor league career. And so I think that's just what it is.
All right, well, good to know. Okay, so let's start off. So he kicks off. This is a plus changeup right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you see, and they do this in AA and AAA where they can land a changeup, but does this change the at-bat a little bit to show that he can throw that changeup in the strike zone?
No, because I'm looking for anything over the plate. So I'm looking for something in the middle of the zone. But right before I went up there, I asked Brendan Donovan. I was like, "Hey, like, what's this guy got?" Because he's got a really good scouting report. He's like, his changeup is basically a lefty curveball.
Gotcha.
It's got that same spin. So going up there, I was like, "Okay, lefty curveball. Like, if he throws me the changeup, it's 78, it's slow. I'm not gonna swing first pitch at it because I don't know what it looks like and I don't know if I can stay back on it."
Gotcha. All right.
So that was my thought. It was just, hey, take it. So I saw it right out of the hand. You can see the eye of the ball out of his hand. And I was like, okay. It went up and sunk a lot. Plus changeup, like you said.
Well, this is the second one. This one, boom's got that more depth. So you can recognize that pitch. Second pitch, you're like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can pick up the spin. I can pick up is it the arm speed or what is it?
No, it's just the way it comes out of his hand.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of popped like a curveball.
Gotcha. Okay, so he goes 2 changeups. And they said you swing. Did you swing right there? What do you think?
It was in between, you know.
Is that rookie treatment?
I'm not going to say I didn't swing, but it was a 50-50 call.
I like it. Now this is pitch number 3. Tries to speed you up. He's already 0-2. Pitch you backwards. He did that the last at bat. I think to Rayleigh maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fastball misses by a bunch. Change up. Now at that point, that's 1-2, right?
Yep.
So you got a pretty good eye on that pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I can see you kind of jumped out of the box. Oh, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. Now we get to it's 2-2 now, and this is where you're kind of in fight mode. Boom. What's your approach right here with 2 strikes? Are you going up there saying, not I don't want to strike out like you're in Little League, but do you change your approach a little bit with 2 strikes?
Honestly, just shorten up.
Okay.
I'm still on the fastball. I'm really thinking about heater.
Yeah.
Because you can't get beat by a heater in this situation.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm thinking about poking the heater to left field and pulling the changeup.
Gotcha. Okay. So you stay alive right here. You get a good look at that changeup. I think he goes heater right here. Yep. Boom.
Yep. Heater right down the middle.
Did that look like it was sped up though? Because were you thinking changeup right there?
No, I was thinking heater, but a little bit of ride on it.
Okay.
So it stayed up, got under the barrel.
Gotcha.
Just missed it.
Okay. And then here we go. Here it is. Changeup. Wham, got it. At that point, as you're watching that ball leave, are you thinking, man, that's going?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because like at that point, I don't even think I hit a home run in BP.
Okay.
So like that was really like my first real home run. Like, you know what I mean? So
Dude, it got out quick. I mean, it took all of us by surprise. I'm like, man, that's going.
Yeah, no, I saw it up and adjusted, and the thing is with that slow of a pitch, like you want to let it travel more than you think.
Right.
So when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, I'm out in front. I'm way out in front.
Yeah.
So now I got to slow my bat all the way down and kind of just like, I don't want to say throw my bat at it, but just kind of like, just like guide the barrel down as slow as possible, just to let the barrel work. And you know, I flicked it at the right second, and it hit the barrel.
Because
Yeah.
the day before, Giolito, he drove onto right field. Same kind of thing. Change up out in front, and you're still able to. Okay, all right. Now, you've probably seen this 1,000 times, man. Your family right here going nuts.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about when you're rounding the bases right here? First of all, who are you pointing at?
Oh, that's the bullpen. You got to give those guys love.
All right, so everyone's always pointing at the bullpen. Okay.
Yes.
When you're rounding the bases, what's going on in your mind right there?
Nothing really. I mean, I was just like, I blacked out.
Right.
I was just like, I can't believe that just happened. And then you gotta act like you've been there before, you know what I mean? Like you can't be doing it's first hit, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, around the bases, coming to home, and then seeing the boys at home plate, and then looking up, and JP, Randy, and I think it was Julio were out there just waiting for me. That was so cool.
I got one last thing for you before I let you go. Third base to shortstop. How different is it? What are the challenges at third base compared to shortstop?
Third base, you just got to cover less ground.
Okay.
You got to cover bunts, and you got to be a cut to home.
Gotcha.
Shortstop, there's a lot more like double cuts.
A little more left and right.
Left and right. You got to go cover second base on a bunt or third base on a bunt. A lot more space to cover, but I've been playing shortstop my whole life, so it's kind of second nature.
Right.
I think third base, I haven't played as much, but I'm very comfortable there too.
Yeah.
And really, it's just get in front of the ball and throw and make the play to first base. That's all it is.
My grandfather, Maurice Nieder, lived in Belgium during World War II and was desperate to escape Hitler's invasion. Using his gold coin collection, Maurice negotiated safe passage to America on a clipper ship for him and his family. My name is Charles Nieder. We've owned Bayside Coin and Jewelry for over 33 years. As one of just a few gold buyers in the state, recommended by the U.S. Mint, you can trust us to buy or sell your gold and silver.
Visit Bayside Coin and Jewelry in Bellingham.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. What's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price. Save up to $4,500 during Olympic's Summer to Remember rebate event. olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
Enjoy life without glasses or readers. Schedule your free Zoom consult now.
After 150,000 procedures, our team has the experience to tell you if it's your right time for K2 Vision RLE.
K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
When a storm wreaks havoc on your home's electrical with the devastation of Jormungandr, summon the protective might of Hunt Services. Our legendary 5-point inspection with whole home surge protection will keep your home powered like a Hammer Mjolnir. Now only $349. Or let us inspect your outdated panel for safety hazards and get $500 off your new installation if needed. Get on the horn and call Hunts for your electrical inspection, whole home surge protection, or panel replacement today.
Welcome back to the Top Step. Special thanks to Colt Emerson. So excited to watch him play. I love it how he dived in to pitch by pitch. Okay, it is time for Get on the Horn, brought to you by Hunt Services. Got a plumbing problem? Get on the horn and call Hunt today. Okay, so this is your segment. You send me the questions and I break them down right here on the show, or I'll get back to you in person. Excuse me, I'll get back to you, not in person. Sorry, I wish I could. I'll get back to you, off air as well. But this is a good one. Jeff, great question, Jeff. Jeff asks, how do you feel about Colt Emerson's debut? Am I in or am I out on the debut? So, debut itself, I think he went over some good at bats against Lucas Giolito. His parents weren't here. I love the fact that he waited to the next day to hit that classic first hit in the big leagues, 3-run bomb, blow that game out with his parents, Jamie and Stacy, in the house. That was memorable. And by the way, I got to interview him afterwards. I was so honored to do that. It was so cool. It was so cool. Great question. Loved his debut. I cannot wait to watch the kid play. All right, Tony asks, if you caught Colt Emerson's first home run or Cal's 60th, what are you negotiating to get back in exchange? Look, I don't want to give anyone some ideas if you're sitting in those right field bleachers and with next iconic historic home run. That's a tough one, man. To me, look,
I'm not a big possessions guy. I don't like taking advantage. If I'm being honest with you, and you're going to probably just shake your head, I'm just going to give it to him. I just want to shake the dude's hand, maybe get a photo. If he wants to sign a bat, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not being whatever. I'm just not that dude to sit there and ruffle feathers, because there's nothing worse when I want to meet him. I need a bat. I need this. I need tickets. And then you meet him. They're like, yeah, man, you just absolutely we're just being completely brutal, being a punish, another Aussie word, to try and get this ball. So I'm just like, you know what, dude? Hey, you're the man. This is a big moment for you. Give him one of these, maybe a hug, not a hug, shake hands, whatever, meet him. That's good enough for me. Tony, good question. If you've got a question and you want to hear from you want to get your name shout out on the show, head to thetopstep.com. You can become a TTS Insider. You can drop your questions in there. I'll either get back to you directly or answer right here on the show. You also get access to the community invites, upcoming events, tapings, and some giveaways coming up as well. You get a weekly newsletter. So special thanks to Hunt Services. If you've got a punting problem, get on the horn and call Hunt. All right, that'll do it for me this week. Special thanks to Colt Emerson. And special thanks to you for wherever you're watching this show. Portland, Spokane, Tri-Cities, here in Seattle, on YouTube, in Australia. Good day, mates. Thank you. We'll see you next week on The Top Step.